In the buzzing town of Okudu, a place where dusty roads met ambitious dreams, and where the sound of hustling never truly stopped, there lived a man named Felix Adeyemi. He wasn't born into wealth. In fact, people said he once sold recharge cards under the hot sun at the junction. But one thing about Felix, his tongue was gold, and his smile could melt suspicion. With those weapons, he rose fast. He started a logistics company with borrowed money and big promises. Adeyemi Freight Solutions, he called it. The slogan? Driven by trust, powered by people. But only Felix knew what truly powered it: manipulation and greed. When he opened his small office behind the old fuel station, people gathered. They had dreams, just like him. And he fed those dreams like firewood feeds flames. There was Daniel, the first to join, an operations guy with strength and heart who could run a schedule blindfolded. Felix looked him in the eye and said, "We're building something that will shake this town. Stay with me and you'll sit beside me when we reach the top." Then came Susan, an HR specialist with brains and calm presence. She took care of people, settled disputes, managed salaries, and even comforted interns who cried in the bathroom. Felix called her my anchor. Jade came next, rough around the edges, full of street wisdom, but loyal. He handled logistics like a general and was known to drive through rain, traffic, and even thugs to make a delivery on time. "You're the engine of this place," Felix told him once. Then there was Amaka, the intern. Young, brilliant, underpaid, overworked. She handled everything: graphic design, emails, social media, errands, even booking flights for Felix's weekend getaways. He never paid her a dime, only said, "Keep it up, you'll soon become full staff." Lastly, Mama Bisi, the office cleaner, a quiet woman who moved like wind and heard everything. She served tea, swept floors, and prayed silently when nobody was looking. But in her silence, she was watching. Business grew. In 1 year, the company tripled its clients. Contracts came in from Port Harcourt, Abuja, even Cotonou. Felix would enter the office in his crisp suits, sunglasses at the collar, and say, "We are unstoppable." But while the company climbed, the workers remained at the bottom. Salaries were late. Promises were never fulfilled. When someone asked for a raise, he would laugh and say, "Be patient." When the millions start coming in, everybody will chop. They believed for a while. Until one hot Wednesday afternoon, Amaka accidentally opened an email on Felix's system. It was a financial report meant for a private investor. It showed Felix had made 120 million naira in just 1 quarter. Meanwhile, Jade's delivery van had no air conditioning. Daniel's wife had just been discharged from a public hospital because he couldn't pay the bills, and Susan was struggling to cover rent. Amaka showed Susan. Susan pulled out her files and cross-checked the numbers. The truth was like cold water on his sleeping face. Felix had been lying, big time. Pensions were not being remitted. Deductions were fake. Company tax was removed from people's salaries but never paid. Staff bonuses were recorded on paper but never distributed. Insurance? Non-existent. They were working for a man who was quietly bleeding them dry. They called a private meeting one night at Daniel's house. Everyone came, except Felix, of course. Even Mama Bisi was there. There was silence, anger, tears, confusion. "I believed in him," Daniel said, fist clenched. "I put my neck on the line for this company. He owes me 6 months of real pay," Amaka whispered, voice shaking. "That man is the devil with perfume," Jide muttered. "He's been using all of us." They made a plan. Not loud, not messy, quiet and precise. Jide began collecting evidence. Photos of expired goods. Felix made him repackage. Voice notes of shady instructions. Susan leaked payslips and false contracts to a journalist friend at The Truth Nigeria, She used her personal laptop to hide her tracks. Daniel reached out to past clients once Felix had lied to or overbilled. Their replies were full of anger and readiness. Amaka, sharp as ever, gathered screenshots, recorded late-night rants, even tracked Felix's private account activities. She found a trail of money transfers to girlfriends, party planners, and luxury property agents. Even Mama BC had her own role. She reported strange meetings to labor officers. She left a message with an old friend in the ministry. And then it happened. On a Monday morning, as the Okudu sun rose without apology, The Truth Nigeria published an expose. The empire built on broken backs, inside Adeyemi Freight's web of exploitation. It trended. People started talking. Clients pulled out. Government agencies arrived. Labor officials began questioning everything. Felix returned from a weekend trip in Dubai to find his office in chaos. He tried to regain control. He called Daniel first. "Bro, let's fix this. I'll make you a partner." Daniel said, "I was never your bro. I was your shield. Now carry your battle yourself." He called Susan. "You're a good woman. I know I made mistakes. Let's meet, talk." She didn't answer. He messaged Amaka. "Come back." Full-time job, salary, everything. She posted the message online with the caption, "When the demon sees the fire, he starts offering gifts." Too late. He even tried to speak to Mema BC. She didn't even look at him. Just walked past him like wind passing a dead leaf. Clients sued, workers testified. His bank accounts were frozen. His luxury house seized. Felix Adeyemi, once the king of Okudu logistics, was now a shadow, begging the very people he once used. And the workers? Daniel started his own logistics company, smaller but honest. Susan became an HR consultant for rising startups. Jade opened his own delivery hub and trained young boys from the streets. Amaka got a tech scholarship to Canada and became a voice for fair labor rights. Mama Busy? The staff union bought her a small house and a shop. For the first time in her life, she had a place of her own. And as for Felix, some say he moved to a small town near Ibadan. Others say he's still trying to pitch new business ideas to strangers, telling half-truths with a tired smile. But in Okudu, his name became a proverb. When someone tries to use others for selfish gain, people say, "Don't be like Felix Adeyemi. A throne built with sweat will one day sink in blood." And they remember, always.